Yo YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy SalvationsElite. We are back with another video, guys, and today we are finally talking about COD Champs because I've been way behind on the ball. I've been bad, guys. I'm sorry, and we haven't talked about COD Champs yet. COD Champs, I'm uploading this video on Tuesday, and COD Champs starts tomorrow on Wednesday. The pool play will start on Wednesday, Thursday, and then we'll have championship brackets on the weekend. And man, this is going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be a really good year for COD Champs. I don't ever remember a COD Champs where more teams could potentially win, and that, I mean, like, this year is absolutely crazy with how many teams could potentially win. I think, what, 8, maybe more could have a chance to win this year, and, you know, that's just going to make it really interesting in itself. Obviously, there's so many storylines going out throughout the whole event. Today, on Tuesday, I leave for Champs. I'll be reffing, you know, this whole week. So if you guys are at Champs, talk to me. If you guys see me, say what's up. I love seeing you guys there at the events, and you know, this is going to be no different. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen this year. This will be my first time actually going to Champs, so I'm looking forward to seeing how hyped the arena can get, and man, it's going to be awesome. And also, the Black Ops 4 beta ended this weekend. I didn't get to play it as much in the second weekend as I got to play it in the first weekend because I was gone most of the second weekend for my fantasy football draft, actually. We went on a little trip up to Minnesota. I like Black Ops 4, I really do, and I think it has a lot of potential to be an awesome game. We'll talk about this more in the future, but overall, I had a great experience on the beta, and I can't wait to play more Black Ops 4, to be honest. So with that said, we're just going to go through some of my favorite teams in Champs, who I expect to win Champs, and, you know, just everything when it comes to Champs. This video is going to be as short as I can possibly make it. We'll pack in as much information as possible, so let's go, baby. So in the group stages, there's a few storylines that are pretty interesting, like the Optic versus EG storyline with Ace again, of course. Everybody's been talking about that. Then there's the TK versus Theory storyline. And then there's, you know, all the group E has often been called the group of death. With Faze, the Complexity, E6, and Moratory Esports, which is a pretty popular pick for an upset as a amateur team. That's going to be a really interesting group, absolutely. I mean, I totally agree with everybody on that one. Group E has to be the toughest, and it's going to be fun to see Sensor playing against Faze. I can't wait to watch that. So there's a lot of really fun games going on in the group stages that are going to create for a lot of stories, and I'm really excited for it. When I look at most of these groups, I just see some very heavy favorites, and then just a few other guys. A few groups have a little bit of interest in the second team that's going to make it out. So like Group A, Group B, and Group C all have really interesting second teams that could potentially, you know, be switched up with some of those amateurs from the LCQ. I really do think it's gonna be pretty straightforward coming out of the group stages, and we could get some awesome matchups in the quarterfinals and the knockout stages in general. For example, if LG and Optic finish as either 1 and 2 or 2 and 1, they just can't finish as the same seed coming out of their group, then they'll play against each other in the first round, which would be an awesome first round matchup. So I'm just going to go quickly through who I believe is going to advance through the group stages in each group. I'm not really going to explain them much. We'll talk about them more a little bit later. So I think TK and Lightning Pandas is going to advance out of Group A. In Group B, I think Rise and Lethal Gaming will advance, which is a little bit of a surprise for some people. In Group C, I see Red Reserve and Ghost moving on, which again, a little bit of an upset there. E United in Group D and EZG I see moving on. And then in the group of death or whatever, we have Faze and Complexity. I just think they're definitely the two best teams in that group. They're going to move on. Group F, we got Unilad and Envy moving on. Group G, we got Echo Fox and LG moving on. And Group H, we got Optic and EG moving on. So again, not too many upsets there. I think it's going to be fairly straightforward with a lot of these groups. Some pretty expected matchups going into the knockout stages. One interesting thing that Benson brought up was that no team this year has won a tournament without winning at least 2/3 of their search and destroys, which in the past, especially at Champs, respawn has been just as important as S&D, if not more important. So this year we've seen a little bit of a turn where we've seen how dominant like TK was at the beginning of the year in Search and Destroy, for example. I personally think that it's going to be more important with the respawns and the S&Ds. You know, as long as you win one of them, you'll be fine. So if you win 51% of your S&Ds, you should be fine, as long as you're a dominant hardpoint team. I mean, at the end of the day, you need to be pretty good at both to win COD Champs, obviously. In my mind, respawns are just more important than Search and Destroy because you got 3 respawn game modes guaranteed in the first 4 games. You can just win 3 respawns and you're going to win the series. Even if you win both S&Ds, you're not winning the series. So I'm just going to go over my 4 favorites real quick, and then we're just going to talk about each one real quickly. So my 4th favorite, the one who's 4th most likely to win, is Red Reserve. The biggest issue for me with them is that Zero's S&D performances have been really inconsistent the last 2 events with Season 2 and Season 2 playoffs, where like in Season 2 when they won he played really well, but when they lost, he played horrible. And then in the playoffs, he was really bad even when they won. So a lot rides on him in those search and destroys. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see how he plays early on, especially on, like, you know, the opening weekends and group play and stuff. So with that, red is my 4th most likely team to win. 3rd is Optic Gaming. A lot of people are going to say,
oh, you're just a homer, you like Optic.
No, that's not why. That's not why. It's because they got Crim 6 and they have Scumpii, and Scumpii is pissed. Scumpii is angry, and Scumpii's been working real hard for this tournament to make sure that he can play well and not have a tournament like he had at Season 2 playoffs. And when you got a guy like Crim and Scump on a lineup with 2 fantastic players in Octane and Methods, you have to be in contention, and we saw how good they can be in Season 2. And it was just an off tournament for them in the playoffs. I really do believe they're still an elite team. And we have not seen the end of Scump or Optic Gaming yet. I don't think Scump is going to retire. I don't think Scump is done or whatever. Scump has a lot of more Call of Duty to play in him. CoD Champs is the place to show that he is not done yet. My second favorite team, which I think some people might be pretty surprised by, especially if you haven't watched a ton of Call of Duty lately, is Unilad is my second favorite team to win CoD Champs. Yes, you heard that right. Unilad, the European team, is my second favorite team to win CoD Champs. Wuskin, Shawnee, Alex, and Zed have been, I mean, really fantastic these last few events. I think they have a lot of potential to be a huge surprise to a lot of people this tournament. And with how they're set up right now with Group F, their biggest question is always their respawn. Like in Season 2 playoffs, they got absolutely stomped in respawn. But their S&D has been so good. Like in Season 2, they won 76% of their search and destroys. They are a fantastic search team. If they've ironed out some of that hard point and that respawn and that CTF, I think they can be extremely dangerous, and that's why they're my second favorite team going into CoD Champs. And then nobody's surprised, the number 1 team, I just see it's so obvious. Rise should be the favorite to win CoD Champs. They've been so dominant this whole year. Their roster is loaded. We got a roster of Gunless, Slasher, TJ Haley, and Looney. I mean, come on, man. That roster is stacked. They are extremely good. They've been so dominant this whole year. They've been competitive in almost every single event. I mean, almost since the beginning of the year. I'll be surprised if they don't finish top 3. They are absolutely my favorite team to win this event. So, guys, with that said, I'm excited for CoD Champs. I'm looking forward to it. If you guys see me at CoD Champs, let me know, hit me up, and I'll definitely stop and say hi and talk for a little bit. But with that said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about CoD Champs and your favorites down below. But as always, guys, I'm your boy SalvationsElite, and we will see you next time. I'm out. The trip. Get off me. It's too easy. It's too easy. Get off. Okay. I'm not very comfortable in my chair right now.